Africa contains a river that flows away from the ocean into the desert and then turns around, a lake that turns animals to stone, and an asteroid crater wider than some countries. These are 15 geography facts about Africa, and they get harder to believe the further down the list you go. Africa is the second largest continent on Earth. It contains the world's largest hot desert, the world's longest river, the world's deepest lake system, and a geological feature that is slowly splitting the continent in two. Most people know about the wildlife. Almost nobody is taught about geography. These 15 facts are the ones that tend to change that, counted down from surprising to genuinely unbelievable. Most maps of Africa show its borders. Very few show what is underneath them. A continent 4 times the size of the continental United States, where the ground is splitting open, the lakes are deeper than buildings are tall, and at least one river forgot which direction it was supposed to flow. Here is what the map leaves out. Fact 15. Africa is the only continent on Earth that spans all 4 hemispheres, crossing both the equator and the prime meridian. No other continent touches north, south, east, and west simultaneously. It is the most geographically centered landmass on the planet, and most geography curricula teach that fact about 0 times. Fact 14. The Namib Desert in Namibia is estimated to be at least 55 million years old, making it one of the oldest deserts on Earth. For comparison, the Sahara is only around 5 million years old. The Namib was ancient before the Sahara existed. Its dunes reach over 300 meters high, shaped by winds that have been blowing for longer than most mountain ranges have existed. Fact 13. Namibia's Fish River Canyon is 160 kilometers long and up to 550 meters deep. It is the second largest canyon on Earth, behind only the Grand Canyon. It was carved over hundreds of millions of years by the Fish River and tectonic forces. Hikers come from across the world to walk its floor. Most of the world has never heard its name. Fact 12. The Niger River begins near the ocean in Guinea, then flows directly away from it into the Sahara Desert. Then it turns around. It makes a full U-turn and flows back through 7 countries before reaching the Atlantic. On a map, the route looks like a boomerang. It exists because of ancient shifts in Africa's geology that forced the river to reroute itself. It remains one of the most geographically counterintuitive rivers on Earth. Fact 11. The Okavango River in Botswana does not reach the ocean. It flows into the Kalahari Desert and fans out across 15,000 square kilometers during flood season, creating one of the world's largest inland deltas, a shifting oasis in the middle of dry sand. Then the water soaks in or evaporates. None of it ever makes it to the sea. The Okavango is a river that spends its entire existence going nowhere and creates a wonder doing it. Kinshasa, capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Brazzaville, capital of the Republic of Congo, 3 kilometers apart, separated by a river. They are the closest pair of national capital cities on Earth. 2 sovereign nations, 2 separate governments. 1 river. Stand on the bank of one and you can see the other. Stop for a moment. Everything you have heard so far is documented, verified, and taught in exactly 0 of the geography classes most people remember. The Congo River, one of Africa's most important geographical features, is so deep it can swallow a 30-story building. The lake we are about to describe holds nearly a 1/5 of all the fresh water on Earth. You probably never learned either of those facts. The second half of this list is the one that makes people go back and check. Fact 10. At Victoria Falls, which straddles the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, the spray from the falls refracts moonlight on clear nights during a full moon, creating a moonbow, a rainbow visible only in darkness, appearing as a soft arc of color across the night sky. It is one of the rarest optical phenomena on Earth, and one of the few places where nature performs for an audience of almost nobody. Fact 9. Off the southwest coast of Mauritius, aerial photographs appear to show a massive waterfall plunging into the ocean. It is an optical illusion. Deep submarine sand flows on the seafloor, combined with the varying depths of the surrounding ocean, create the appearance of water cascading endlessly downward. There is no waterfall. The ocean floor is performing a trick, and from above, it is completely convincing. Fact 8. The Congo River is the deepest river on Earth. In certain stretches, it plunges to nearly 220 meters, deep enough to submerge a 60-story building with room to spare. That depth powers some of the most intense river currents anywhere on the planet. It also makes the Congo one of the most hydroelectrically powerful rivers on Earth, a force of nature running through the heart of the second largest rainforest in the world. Fact 7. Lake Tanganyika is the second deepest lake on Earth at 1,470 meters. It stretches 673 kilometers, the longest freshwater lake in the world, and it holds approximately 17% of all the surface freshwater on Earth. Not 17% of Africa's fresh water, 17% of the entire planet's one lake in 4 countries. Most people have never heard of it. Fact 6. In the distant past, Lake Chad may have stretched across 2.5 million square kilometers, one of the largest lakes on Earth. Since 1960, it has shrunk by approximately 90%. Climate change, over-extraction, and poor land management have all contributed. What remains today is a fraction of a lake that once defined the geography of an entire region. It is one of the most visible examples of environmental collapse on the planet, and it is still shrinking. Fact 5. Lake Natron's water is rich in natron, a natural compound of sodium carbonate and baking soda. Its pH reaches 10.5, close to ammonia. Animals that die near the lake are gradually encased in a white mineral crust, preserving them in the position they died in. Despite this, flamingos breed here in enormous numbers, nesting on the same toxic flats that would calcify most other species. Natron is lethal and yet teeming with life at the same time. Fact 4. In August 1986, Lake Nyos in Cameroon experienced a limnic eruption, a sudden release of carbon dioxide that had been building under the water for decades. The gas burst from the lake in a massive cloud and rolled silently down the surrounding hills. By morning, 1,746 people were dead. Entire villages were suffocated in their sleep. No explosion, no warning, no fire. Just a lake exhaling carbon dioxide into the night. It remains one of the deadliest geological events in modern history. Fact 3. 2 billion years ago, an asteroid struck what is now South Africa and created the Vredefort crater, the largest and oldest confirmed asteroid impact site on Earth. At formation, scientists estimate the crater was up to 300 kilometers wide. That is larger than the United Kingdom. It is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and still clearly visible from space. A 2 billion-year-old scar on a continent that has been absorbing punishment from the cosmos since before complex life existed. Fact 2. The East African Rift is a geological fault zone where 2 tectonic plates are pulling Africa apart. Scientists predict that over the next several million years, the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden will expand and fill the Rift Valley with ocean water, separating the Horn of Africa from the rest of the continent and creating an entirely new ocean basin. Africa is not a fixed continent. It is a continent in the process of becoming 2. Fact 1. Lake Tanganyika has existed for somewhere between 9 and 12 million years. It is older than most mountain ranges. It is the second oldest lake on Earth after Lake Baikal, and it holds 17% of the planet's surface fresh water in a basin that has been collecting life for longer than our species has existed. It is not just a lake, it is a world. 15 facts from a continent most people think they understand. A river that flows the wrong way. A lake that turns animals to stone. A crater wider than most countries. And a continent is currently in the process of splitting into 2. Africa does not need myth. The geography is already more than enough.